If you have been showing up, building trust, and creating content on a day-to-day basis, this is where things get real because this is the time where we have to sell. And I know that this is where many people avoid, like nobody likes to sell, but if we're serious about monetizing our skill set, this is where things get very real. And this is kicking off our week 4, where you have to turn your skill set into something that people can pay for. But one thing I like to state is if you wait for things to be perfect, you will never launch. So even if it feels like your offer is still a bit messy, you haven't laid it all out, it's okay. Let's work with what we have, because one thing I've come to realize is in the process of working things out, things will work out for us. We'll get more clarity in terms of what we want to actually do. So don't be worried. Don't be afraid. Do it afraid. Okay. And the best part is, I am also doing this with you, so you're not alone. We're in this together. So in today's video, I'm going to be taking you behind the scenes of how I intend to craft my offer, so that if you're also in this step, you know exactly what to do. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Adeyinka, and I help working professionals monetize their skill set so that they're able to build a 6-figure business without having to quit their job. It's week 4, and week 4 is where we start turning our skill sets into an actual product that people can pay for. Now, before I dive into week 4, let's do a quick recap. Now, for week 1, we define who we want to help and the transformation that we want to create. There's a video focused on that, right? For week 2, we started to show up consistently, and we've been doing that since week 2, and this is week 4. You know, in week 3, we figured out that we needed to build trust, and we figured out even more creative ways to actually build trust with our intending audience. And this week, we're going to be turning our skill sets into a product, because like I've said over and over again, people do not care about what you know. People care about how you can use what you know to help them. So the transformation is the main thing. So it's one thing for you to have business skills, right? What can you do with that business skill? How can I use that business skill to transform the next person's life, right? That is what the transformation is, and that is what it means for us to turn our skill set into a product, all right? So come with me, let me walk you through what I've been up to, this week. Now, before I actually even get started, something else that I'd like to share with you quickly is this. You need to know that trust alone would not pay bills, right? Trust will only help you probably grow your following, help you get more likes, more comments, more DMs. But if you don't have something to sell to the people who are now engaging with your post and interacting with you on a consistent basis, then how are you going to monetize what you know? You're just going to end up doing freebies throughout the entire journey, right? And that's not where we want to be. We want to be intentional about all the efforts that we're putting out there. And that's why this week is very important. So here are 3 things that I am going to be focusing on this week. The very first is I want to get clear on the results that I want to create. It's very important that I understand exactly what I'm trying to create so that my story is clear, my offer is clear to my intending audience who wants to buy my product, right? So some of the questions I'm asking myself is, what specific problem can I help someone solve? After working with me, what will they walk away with? Now, I know that in our first week, we kind of like, played around, and that's how we came up with our offer. But this week is very important for us to be super clear, because that's what we're going to turn into a product. People need to know exactly what we're selling to them. And like I said, when it comes to knowledge, it's not all about all of the information you want to dump, into their hands. It's what am I going to get out of this? If I give you this money, what am I going to get in return? What is my business going to get in return? What is it going to do for me? And so this week, I am spending time getting really clear in terms of what I can offer, what transformation I can offer, and what your life would look like after you buy my product. And it's so important because I know that once I get absolute clarity on that, selling becomes super easy, because then I'll just be sharing, what you will get if you work with me. And if you align with it, you will naturally draw to me. And I'm not going to have to be so sleazy and trying to force you to a sale, right? So for me, I'm focused on helping small business owners structure their business so their business can run without them. I want you to think about your own skill set. what are you going to be doing with that same skill? What are you going to be doing for your customer, right? Your intending audience, right? It's time for us to start thinking like business owners. We're no more working professionals. All right. Now we are trying to be business owners. So it's better for us to start thinking about our clients, our customers. What are we going to do for them? How is their life going to look like after they interact with us, after they buy our product, and after they consume and do exactly what we've asked them to do? Okay. Now, the second thing I'm going to be focusing on this week is to actually pick how I want to deliver my product, right? And for me, this is something that I've learned, over the last skill set that I monetize. There's so many ways that you can sell a product. Do you intend to sell it one-on-one, through one-on-one coaching? Do you intend to sell a digitalized product where, it's already done for you? They just kind of purchase it and follow the steps. Do you want to have like a group coaching program where it's no longer one-on-one or self, paced? It's not something that you have a group of people that will be working together. It's important that we finalize that piece, because the method through which you're going to sell is also going to determine your pricing. It's going to determine how you want to deliver your results. And so for me, because it's still week 4, I'm going to be going with something very lightweight. I'm not going to be going full on into coaching because that's very intensive. And I still want to be able to test out my offer with the crowd and with my audience, to be able to know what part of my business skill do they actually want, right? Because even though I'm trying to help them build structured, scalable businesses, there's still a bit, there's still so many parts to it that through this testing phase, I will then nail down the specific part that they are most interested in. So I'm going to be going through something very lightweight. I'm going to be focusing on a digitalized product, more like, a blueprint, more like a checklist, more like something that is very actionable and that they can get to and that can give them immediate result. That is what I'm going to be doing. Now, depending on the skill set that you are trying to monetize, you might need to go in a different direction. You might need to go one-on-one. You might need to do group coaching. You might need to do 3-day workshop, 2-day workshop. Figure out what works for you. Now, you have to take into consideration all of the things that you're involved in, right? If you're a family person, make sure that you put that into consideration. If you have, a job, make sure you put that into consideration, because you have to make sure that whatever it is that you choose to do, you have the time to do it. Because we are here to win, right? We're not here to do things halfway and give up, right? We want to make sure that we're seeing it through. So you want to pick a format that truly works for you. Now, the third thing that I'm going to be doing this week, I'm going to be posting my idea in public. The same way that I'm sharing my entire journey with you on this channel, on my business page, I'm going to be posting about my transformation, what I intend to offer, and I'm going to be spending more time focusing my content around that subject, right? So that way I'm able to know, how are people interacting with this? Are people really interested? Are people asking more questions? So that I'm able to fine tune where and how I truly want to build that product. So that's the new direction I'm going to be taking going forward, in addition to the fact that I'm going to be sharing relatable stories. Because remember that we realized that when we share more stories, we get to be more relatable. People are able to trust us even more. But now I'm going to be focusing my content around my intending paid offer, so that I know whether this direction is actually what people want. And if not, then I'm able to then turn around and find a much better solution for my audience. So here is what my plan this week looks like. So day 1, I'm going to revisit the common pain points that my skill set can solve. Second thing I'll be doing is I'm going to be outlining 1 or 2 simple product ideas. I'm going to mention the offer casually in form of like stories and posts, right? That's what I just spoke about. So able to see how people interact with it, so that I'm able to know if I'm in the right direction or not. And then I'm also going to be trying to kickstart conversations to see whether I'm able to also find people that can give me feedback. So these are some of the things that I'm going to be focusing on this week. And so if you're also in the same space with me and you are also in this time in your journey, these are some of the things that you can focus on. And I want you to know that it is possible. And that's why I'm sharing, my plans with you, so that you're not alone. You don't feel like you're alone, and you start paying attention to the fact that we need to build the paid product, because that's why we started this journey in the first place. We're here to monetize our skill set. We're not here to be content creators. We're not just here to build like a social media following. We're here to turn our skill sets into money. And the only way to do that is to sell a paid product, a product that people are going to pay for. And so that's what this entire week is going to be all about: fine tuning and showing that We're out there talking about this paid product in a very soft way, right? We're not doing any hard launch right now, but we just want to get, a feel of where people are in the market to be able to know if we're in the right direction or if there's anything that we need to tilt before the final D-Day. Okay? Now, one thing I like to share before I put this video to a close is don't focus on, all of the things you've got to do, right? Don't focus on, oh, do I need to build myself a website? Do I need to build myself like a big full-on course? Don't do all of that. A very simple, flow desk can help you depending on what you're trying to sell. But rather than focus on the tools that will support your product, I want you to focus on the product itself. And once you're finalized and you have built the confidence for the product you want to offer, the tools will find its way to you. And, all of those things are very easy. And as I finalize my own plan, trust me to come back to you to tell you some of the products and tools that you can use to make your offer easy to deliver to your audience. Okay. So 2 things that we're going to be focusing on this week is what problem do we need to solve and how can we help our audience fix that problem so that they can pay us to fix it for them. All right, guys, thank you very much for spending another time with me in today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you follow, make sure you share with your friends, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.